Sup? Oh, it's Greggatron. This, 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 this. Look at it. This. Yeah. 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 Magnificent. Yes. This. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is Greggatron. What is good with all the good people? I want to know what's good with the bad people too. Alright, today's video I'm showing off my original Xbox collection. Some of you have been asking for this. I saw you in the comments. I see ya. And I've been meaning to make this anyway. That along with my 360 collection, which I'll show in a different video. So, with that said, with the time being, let's get started. Alright. It's all been alphabetized. We have Army Men. Sarge's Wars. This game, I'm not gonna lie, I think I got this when I was running errands with my dad. we were at a gas station and I just saw this on the rack and I was like, Dad, can we get this? And my dad's just like, sure. Anyway, this game was the stuff. Me and my brothers used to play it. My sister, my friends, my sister's friends, my brother's friends. All the kids who came into my household, we would play this game. At some point, like, this was one of the truest, most fun games ever. With multiplayer, that is. Now, it was also fun single player because if you would say there's such thing as racism in a game, this game was racist. So the green people, they were the enemy of the tan people because there was a large event downtown somewhere and there was like a statue. It was a ceremony or something. And there was a bomb that was actually inside the statue at the ceremony. And it blew up. And it like wiped out like most of the green people in that area. So Sarge, those were his people. And the bomb went off from the tan people. So they were at war, the green people. The green people versus the tan people. And he'd say stuff like, those tan scum. You know, and he had a really good voice, by the way. Really good voice actor. You can kind of read the description there. Yeah, man, you have bazookas, rifles, auto rifles, assault rifles, shotguns, sniper rifles, grenades, flamethrowers, time bombs. The list went on. Machine guns. There was one called HMG, heavy machine guns. This game had it all, man. It was 4-player. And it wasn't first person like Call of Duty. You could actually see the character third person. I mean, this game alone I can talk about for a while, but just know, me and my friends, we loved Army Men. And this is actually the newer Army Men. There was an old Army Men that was on 64, and my buddy had that, but we ended up getting this one. Call Call of Duty 2, big red one. Honestly, I don't even think I played this game. I don't even remember when I got this. If it was a gift, I don't know. Now, Dead or Alive Ultimate 1 and Ultimate 2. Ultimate 1, we really don't remember much. Well, I shouldn't speak for my brothers, but I'll speak for myself. 1 was the beginning, but 2 is what really set everything off. This one is probably the best one out of all the Dead or Alive games. Even now, you know, the costumes in this game were great. The outfits, the gameplay was really nice. It probably wasn't the best gameplay, but at the time it was. But this was a lot of fun. And I remember there being hella costumes. Just hella costumes. Like between 10 and 20 costumes per person. So that was nice. So Gauntlet Dark Legacy, that was like bigger than Army Men to us. Like me and all three of my siblings, we would play the mess out of this. 4-player, all on the same TV. This is back when American children had one TV in the house. So we would all have to play on the same TV at the same time. And back then they really focused on 4-player games, or at least 2-player games. But if you had a 4-player game, like, that was a treat. Because some people have big families, you know, or you would have your friends over, and this is before online. But we would have friends over just to play this type of stuff. As far as the game goes, it was a lot of fun. You had to collect these rune stones to create a portal, essentially, and then go down through the portal to defeat this Dark Lord. Because the Dark Lord, he was already threatening to find the rune stones himself. So you had to get them before. It was kind of like Lord of the Rings, but with rune stones instead of a ring. And there was more to it than that, obviously. I'm butchering it. But I actually got an original Xbox again as an adult just to play this game. Yeah, but you essentially you had to get all the rune stones before the Dark Lord could get his hands on them. Kind of like the Dragon Balls. Keep the Dragon Balls away from Frieza. But yeah, that was fun. The Simpsons Road Rage. We had friends who had this game on PlayStation 2, and we just fell in love with this game, so we had to get it on Xbox. And it's probably just as fun on Xbox, if not more fun. The objective in this game was to deliver passengers as quickly and as soon as possible before time runs out. And the quicker you get them delivered, the more money you would make. So it was like a money-making game. And there was a multiplayer version where you get to play against your friend, and you would essentially race to see who could deliver the most passengers the quickest. And whoever delivered the most passengers before time ran out would win. The best thing about it was you could actually steal passengers from your opponent. So if you bumped into your opponent, if your opponent had that passenger, now you have the passenger. Well, then your opponent will have to catch you and bump back into you to steal the passenger back. And there were so many characters like Otto, the school bus driver, he was in it. The police officer, he was in it. Krusty the Clown, he was up in there with the clown car. You can see Bart Simpson right there. Grandpa. That's Willie right there. Groundskeeper Willie. There was a lot of vehicles. A lot. But this was the jam. Alright. Soul Calibur 2, that's a classic. Me and my brothers, and my friends too, we used to play this heavily, relentlessly, religiously. This game alone really put us onto fighting games. My younger brother, to this day, he loves this game. Like, we still talk about it at times. The music was incredible. The characters were actually really developed. They were all unique and distinct from one another. And you can see Spawn right there. This game actually was my introduction to Spawn. And my dad thought it was Venom. You know, because they're both made by Todd McFarlane. The Xbox version had Spawn. The PS2 version had Heihachi. Am I saying that right? From Tekken? And then the GameCube version had Link from Zelda. But yeah, the weapon choice, there were so many weapons you could win and weapon master. You could buy weapons. Each character got like 10 weapons. They each had their strengths and weaknesses. It had a legendary weapon you could get too. This was the stuff. This really was. This to this day is the best Soul Calibur game they ever made. I mean, come on now. Alright. Spider-Man 2. This. This. Oh, man. Oh, man. This game really put me on to superhero games. This is like 04. I'm 12. And this is like perfect for the movie. Like, just perfect. The boss fights were tough. The graphics at the time were nice. This was the first open world game, I think, period. If not, it was the first open world superhero game. Yeah, because I think there was still like Grand Theft Auto and stuff back then. But as far as like Spider-Man games, this was the first. Before all this PS4, PS5. If it wasn't for this game right here, none of these other games would exist. Like this game, and shout out to the first one too. I had that. I don't know what happened to it, but Spider-Man 2 really put Spider-Man games on the map. Like this game changed everything with the open world swinging. Because prior to that, you were like swinging up in the sky, but the webs weren't attached to anything. Remember that? Whereas this game, you actually had to swing on a building or a pole. Like your webbing had to be connected to something. You know what I'm saying? Doc Ock was incredible. Protecting people felt incredible. What I liked about this game a lot was the people of New York City, the townspeople, if you want to call them that. They always had an excuse to why they needed some help. Spider-Man, help! That man just stole my purse. So then you'd have to go get the purse back, and then you get points. You get points and stuff if you got the lady's purse back, or there'd be a construction worker who's about to fall off of a building, and he's like, help me! Please! Someone help me! And then you got to help him, grab him before he falls off the building. Or, you'd have these guys who's like about to jump this other guy, and he'd be like, I'm sorry, Spidey. Because he gets your attention, and you're talking to him, and he's like, I'm sorry, Spidey. But they had like really good interactions with the townspeople. Really good interaction. I mean, that list just goes on and on and on. You would get points if you grabbed a little girl's balloon. Because the balloon flew up in the sky because she lost it. I mean, this was the stuff. Man. Spider-Man. that man just stole that man's car. Or they say, Spider-Man, that man was driving way too fast. And then you get on top of the person's car, beat the crap out of it. You beat up someone's stolen car. How does that make sense? I hope that person has insurance. And then when you would beat up bad guys, it would sound like that stuff was fun. You had this big old web ball you could shoot people with. I mean, this was fun. Spider-Man. Alright. So this is the first game we had. This came with the Xbox. It's a 2-in-1. Alright. You got Star Wars The Clone Wars. It's essentially Attack of the Clones. The Clone Wars, right? Another 4-player game. See how spoiled we were back then? See how fortunate we were? All these games were 4-player games. Like, this was crazy. This was a lot of fun. I remember the 4-player mode, the multiplayer mode. It could be you and 3 friends. You're like blasting the mess out of each other in these tank-like vehicles. Like crazy maps. Excuse me. It even says try out Xbox Live. You know, just fun, fun, fun. I remember the vehicles more than anything. And then Tetris. This is before tablets, people. Before iPhone. Before the Switch. Before iPad, all that stuff, man. You had Tetris on Xbox and PlayStation also. You know. But this was the first. This was nice because it gave you a chance to sit down with something before you spend more money on more games. You could just rock with this for a little while. It came with the Xbox. Alright. Speaking of Star Wars. So Jedi Knight Academy probably is the best Star Wars game of all time. You could debate it and say Battlefront 2. You could debate it and say The Force Unleashed. They got Lego Star Wars. They got a lot of Star Wars games out now, but we actually had this on PC prior to getting an Xbox. And we liked it so much, we had to get it. And you can see the price right there. This was used, and it's $45. So that's how popular, that's how big this game was. I mean, this was special at the time. Like, no other Star Wars game was touching this game. You could create your own character, which this was one of the first games to really do that. Make your own character. Your character is a Padawan learner, and you're learning ways of the Force. And you could actually make decisions on whether you're going to do a good deed or a bad deed. The more bad deeds you would do, the closer and closer you would lean into the dark side. So you would actually learn like Sith lightning and stuff and Force choke if you continue to do bad deeds. Where if you did more good deeds, you would lean more into the Jedi, and you would have the Jedi's abilities. So it really was all about choices. Everybody got choices. But yet, Jedi Knight Academy still is a classic. And it was rated T. Like, the Force jump, the sound effects sounded really cool. Your character didn't really speak because they didn't have like the voices down yet for the custom character. So whether you created a man or a woman, your character didn't really talk. You would just kind of listen. But it was nice exploring that world. Show the back. See there? You could even have 2 lightsabers. Yep. Yeah. When I see this back cover, it takes me... You see that guy jumping like... It sounded like... It was cool. Man, come on now. There it goes right there. Customize your character by defining both look and gender before entering the academy to learn the power and dangers of the Force. Yep. New vehicles, weapons, force powers. This game went in, and it was multiplayer, not 4-player, but it was 2-player. This game went in. Forge your weapon and follow the path of the Jedi. Stop playing with him, man. Stop playing. Alright. Now. Alright. Haven't we been talking about 4-player games all day? Look at this. What? X-Men Legends. Oh, man. So me and my friends and my brothers, we used to play this. Between this, Gauntlet, and Army Men, as far as 4-player games goes, like, these 3 games were the stuff. X-Men Legends really put me on. Like, we already liked X-Men from the 90s, the TV show. But this game was perfect for kids who liked superheroes or comics. This game was right up my alley when it came to that stuff. The characters were so spot on. They felt just like the characters who we grew up with, the characters who we knew and loved. I mean, you can look at the cover and just tell. This was the truth. Everybody had their own special abilities. It felt so good when you would upgrade your character. The deeper you got into the game, the more upgrades. You could play it twice on a harder difficulty, get even more abilities. You got to fight the Morlocks. The Morlocks was one of my favorite people to fight. One of my favorite missions. Gambit got captured. He was in the sewers. You had to go find him. It was about Magneto. It was about Asteroid M. It was about a lot of stuff, man. A lot was going on in this game. Oh, man. The Sentinels. The Sentinels was a big thing. The Sentinels was probably the best villain to face. Probably more so than Magneto. Because you have to team up and destroy these giant robots who are programmed to destroy mutants, or at least to capture mutants. Now, you don't have to play 4-player. You could actually switch between your 4 players. You could customize your own team. You could keep the same 4 people if you wanted to the entire time. My main team was like Cyclops, Storm, Wolverine, and maybe either Iceman or Magma. Somebody with projectiles. But definitely I had Storm and Cyclops on my team. Or sometimes I might take Wolverine out, put Colossus in there, another heavy hitter. Nightcrawler was real clean. Beast was alright. Charles was nice. He was kind of always in their head, giving them instructions. I mean, look at that. Oh my gosh. It really did feel rewarding when you customized your people. And I really did like the cutscenes. Yeah, man. Because it was so cinematic. And thanks to this game, you get Marvel Ultimate Alliance in the future. Another 4-player game. But before I go there, I ended up getting X-Men Legends 2. From eBay, I think. And it's alright. You know, it's not like the first one by any means. You can play as Magneto now and some Brotherhood members, but this game was alright. And I kind of knew that because I played it at my friend, not my friend, but my godbrother's house. My godbrothers, they had it on GameCube, and I remember playing it as a kid, and I was like, it didn't feel right. Because you're in, I think, Genosha a lot of the time. You're in Africa. A lot of the time, you're like in the jungle. Whereas in the first game, you're like in all these bases or the sewers. It was okay. I played this game once, maybe twice at the most. Whereas, like, the first X-Men Legends, I played that like a million times. So, but thanks to this game, also, you get Marvel Ultimate Alliance. There are some abilities in this game that go straight to Ultimate Alliance. So, they kind of just use this game as a stepping stone to get to Ultimate Alliance. So, still, shout out to that. X-Men Legends 2. So that's my Xbox collection. We had a lot of fun times. We had a really good run. Also, I used to have the Lord of the Rings games. I don't know what I did with those games. I think I sold them because I was trying to get a PSP or something. I used to have the first Spider-Man game. I had a lot more games than this. But as a kid, stuff happens. So the fact that these are all still here, these are the classics in my book. Like, these are the must-haves, like Spider-Man 2, Gauntlet, Army Man. I can still put some of these games in. And like I said, I got an Xbox on eBay for that reason. Soul Calibur 2, Gauntlet, Army Man, X-Men Legends. You can't lose. You really can't. We had so much dang on fun. This and my friends who had a PS2. My friends who had the PS2, we used to play Budokai at their house, Budokai 2, Budokai 3. The Naruto games were coming out. I think maybe on PS3 and 360. We had a lot of fun growing up, man. And the kids today, they got the Switch. The Switch is cool. But they missed out on a lot of stuff, man. We also used to have Dead or Alive 3. Or it was 3 on 360. Let's see here. I think 3 was on Xbox. Because, 4 and 5 I have on 360. But yeah, I can go on and on and on, man. RIP to the Xbox. And thank you to Microsoft for giving us that, because we had some times on these games. Especially the Lord of the Rings games also. Like, we had some adventures. I don't know in the comments section what was your favorite Xbox or PS2 game. What did you play the most? What did you and your siblings play a lot? What memories do you have with your friends, family? Did y'all come home from school and play that stuff? Did you guys have sleepovers and play that stuff? And don't get me wrong, we played with toys. We played basketball, football outside. But when we came in the house, after we ate sandwiches or whatever, hot dogs, chicken patties, whatever, this is the stuff we would play, man. And we were so fortunate because every game in this list, except for maybe Spider-Man, all these games are multiplayer. Each and every one of them. So that's just food for thought. They just don't make games like this anymore. This had a great run. The 360, that'll be my next video, hopefully. The 360 had an even better run in my opinion. Man, if I could rewind back to 05, even 2000, no, I would say 05. I wish I could, man. Because that was a treat. That was a time, man. We used to talk about this stuff at school. Anyway, it's been half an hour. Alright, if you're still here, I appreciate it. Yes, sir. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all later. And peace.